Last time on 556, 2 years ago, one night changed everything. One last minute trip to Philadelphia, a choice to step out, and a betrayal she never saw coming. Dalen, Farah, together. Nix didn't stay for answers. She ran, and she's been running ever since. Until one night in Houston, one drink, one stranger, Quincy. You don't trust easily. For the first time in years, Nix feels something, and that might be the most dangerous part of all. Hey, my loves, welcome to the second part of 556 from the Pages series, from the In Her Own Voice podcast. I am Queen Visionary. I'll be the one you hear behind the mic, but at the same time, I'm always standing on the front line, ready to inspire and empower those who struggle to lift their voices. I created this space to be a mix of everything that feeds the soul and to breathe in what matters. So please, please get comfortable. Take a breath with me because this is where silence breaks, truth blooms, and every word is spoken boldly. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Thank you for listening. So here we go, part two of 556. I've been getting a lot of where's Nix? What's Nix got going on? What are we waiting for? Where's part two? Ladies and gentlemen, wait no longer. Part two is here for you. I do hope that you're enjoying all of my episodes on the podcast and now the story. I hope that it's inspiring you to go out and do the things that you have set forth in your mind to do and have not physically done yet. I'm hoping that it illuminates your gifts and brings forth your courage to go and do what you want to do, what you really want to do. I appreciate each and every one of you standing next to me, standing behind me, standing in front of me. Pushing me on and supporting me. So I'm going to stop talking without further ado. 556 part 2. Enjoy. Nix told herself it was nothing. That last night was just a conversation, just a man in a bar, just one night that didn't matter. So why was she thinking about him while pouring coffee at 3,000 feet? Ma'am, cream or sugar for your coffee? She offered the passenger. Both, please. Nick smiled politely, but her mind wasn't there. It was back in that dim Houston bar from the night before. Back to the way Quincy had looked at her, like he saw through everything she tried to hide. 3 days later, back home in D.C., Nix checked her schedule and froze. Destination? Houston. Same route, same hotel. She shook her head. Are y'all for real? She said. It was a strange coincidence. A part of her wished Quincy was still there in that hotel. A part of her prayed he wasn't. Either way, fate would be the deciding factor. 2 days later, Nix was back in Houston, headed to her room after checking in. She pushed the elevator button to head up to her floor and waited. Looking around, she searched for Quincy with her eyes. Nick, stop being silly and relax, she thought. The door slid open. Nick stepped inside, pressing her floor. Just as the doors were closing, a hand stopped them. Her stomach dropped before she even saw his face. Hold the door, please. The doors reopened, and there he was, Quincy. They both froze. Then he smiled, slow, unbothered, like he expected this. Well, hello again, Miss Nix, he said, stepping inside. That manifestation didn't take long. Nix blinked. You've got to be kidding me. You're back here at the same hotel? Couldn't stay away from me, huh? he asked with a smirk. Lord, them dimples. She crossed her arms. The company usually sends me to the same hotels in the cities we stay in overnight, she corrected. It's not about you, or is it that deep? He said. Feels a little deeper than that. Why are you still here? Didn't I leave you at the bar almost a week ago? Yeah, and you should be ashamed of that too. The way you just abandoned me. Me and the fellas are here another couple days before we go our separate ways and get back to reality. She shook her head, but she couldn't stop the small flutter in her stomach. This is weird. Or, he said calmly, leaning towards her and gently nudging her shoulder with his arm. Maybe it's intentional. Nix tucked her hair back behind her ear nervously. Intentional? How do you figure? He held her gaze. Divinely. Do you believe in that kind of thing? She hesitated. No, me neither, he said. But this is starting to make me reconsider. You want to meet later at the bar? I could really use some good company, he asked as the elevator reached her floor. Nick stepped out. He held the door open, waiting for her answer. She let out a soft, long breath and contemplated. Nothing would allow her to say no in that moment, even though she wanted so bad to not seem as interesting as she was getting to know Quincy Moore. One drink, he smirked. That's all I need. So they met in the same bar, the same dim lighting, the same good kind of music and relaxed atmosphere. But it felt different this time. Nerve-wracking, nice, hesitant, intimate. And the scariest feeling? Unpredictable. About an hour of casual talk, Quincy leaned back in his seat. So you always disappear on people like that? Nix took a sip of her drink, the second round, and shook her head. I didn't disappear. I left to go home. I'm not here for you. Without a goodbye or a number. I didn't know you like that to owe you a goodbye, let alone my number. Nix, I'm not upset. I'd rather take my time with something as precious as you anyway. Nix didn't know much about Quincy, but she knew he understood her just enough to say the right things. The kind of things that made her hard to get at, a little harder to keep up. He was openly playing mind games with her, except he actually wasn't. His openness and patience made her confused. Oh, really? She struggled to stay neutral and unbothered, as it irritated her that she was weakening. You came back. I'm not surprised, though. I knew I would have another chance to get to know you, he said assuredly. This doesn't count. I was sent back for work. I'm not here for you. Is that the only reason? Because that's the second time you said that. So who are you trying to convince? His eyes bore into hers, holding slight humor, waiting for the answer he already knew but lacked the verbal proof of. Nix shook her head and looked away toward the band. She swore they were listening in to their conversation because in that moment, they began to play a cover of Janet Jackson's song, Can't Be Good. The female singer in the band seemed to be pulling at Nix's thoughts and putting them into words, like she was singing the things Nix dared not say out loud. Her defenses were slipping, slightly shaking her head again in an attempt to force those thoughts out of her mind. So what happened? Quincy asked. Nix turned her attention back to Quincy. With what? The reason you don't trust people. She let out a short laugh. You're just no holds barred with your questions, huh? I told you, Nix. Only when it's beneficial. I caught my ex with someone else in another city where I had to do it overnight. Quincy didn't react, didn't interrupt. She appreciated that more than she expected. My coworker, my friend really, she added quietly. His jaw tightened slightly. At the same time, so did hers. That's messy. Yeah. When did this happen? 2 years ago. And you've been alone ever since? Nix nodded once. By choice, she stated, staring off at nothing specific. He tilted his head. By choice or by fear? She looked at him sharply. Don't do that. Do what? Act like you've got me figured out. I don't have you figured out, Nix, he said calmly, but I'm trying to. That disarmed her completely. You keep wanting to peel back my layers. What about yours? Nix asked. You've got some perfect track record with love or something? He chuckled. Far from it. She waited. He sighed. My ex, Angela. Nix noticed the slight shift in his tone. She wasn't a bad person, he said carefully. Just not right for me. And what does that mean? It means we stayed together longer than we should have. Nix nodded. That part I understand. He looked at her. Yeah, I figured you would. Hours passed, and somehow it felt like minutes. They talked about everything. Houston, childhood, bad relationships, funny memories, good music, dreams they didn't dare admit to anyone else. And somewhere in between, Nix forgot to be guarded. She looked at her watch. Oh, wow, it's almost 2 a.m. I should go. I have a flight at 11 a.m. to Atlanta in the morning, she said, though she didn't move. Yeah, you should go and rest, Quincy replied, also not moving. Silence. Their eye connection said all that needed to be said. The people and the music was still live around them, but in that moment, it felt like just them. You're different than I expected, Nix admitted. He smiled slightly. Good different or bad different? Dangerous different. He raised a brow. How so? She looked at him honestly. You make me feel things I've been avoiding, things I'm not sure I'm ready to feel. He didn't look away, neither did she. He leaned in a bit closer to her. Maybe you've been avoiding the wrong things. Her chest tightened. This is exactly why she didn't do this, why she kept people at a distance. Because this feeling could wreck her. Quincy leaned in a little closer. Not enough to overwhelm, just enough to matter. Nix felt her breath catch. Relax, he said softly. I'm not going to rush you. That made it worse, because he meant it, because he wasn't trying to take anything. He was just there, steady, patient, safe, and Nix didn't know what to do with that. I don't do this, she said quietly. Do what? He matched her volume while moving a piece of her hair away from her cheek. Let people in. He nodded. I know. And I'm not promising anything. I'm not asking for anything, Nix. She searched his face for lies in that statement, and she found none. Then what do you want? Quincy smiled. Another conversation. When? Soon. You got to give me a way to reach you, though. Nix exhaled slowly. That felt manageable now, safe enough. Okay. Back in her room, Nix sat on the edge of her bed staring at nothing. She pulled out her phone, texted Lana. It was 2 a.m. in Houston, but 1 a.m. in D.C., and Nix knew Lana was somewhere in the streets on a Friday night. Nix typed, You won't believe this. I saw him again. Lana responded almost instantly. You're lying. Nick smiled faintly. Same hotel. Lana responded, that's fate, girl. Nick replied, that's coincidence. Lana responded, friend, that's your new bae. Nick shook her head in denial, but her heart wasn't as convinced. Meanwhile, Quincy was back in he and his friend's two-bedroom suite. He sat on the edge of his bed, phone in his hand, looking at Nick's contact information. His friend knocked and walked in. Bro, you're smiling like an idiot. Quince didn't even deny it. I don't know, man. She's different. Yeah, his friend said. Did you let her get away again? Quincy's smile got a little brighter. Not this time. Nix had just finished packing her things for her flight in the morning and was about to settle in when her phone buzzed. A text from Quincy. Open the door, it read. Her heart raced. Why was he at her door? She replied, Quincy, I can't. I'm not ready. Even though her feet slowly carried her body towards the door. I just want to hold you, I promise. He texted back. Looking through the peephole, she confirmed he was in fact waiting on the other side of her door. Nix, please, he spoke through the door. She hesitated a second longer, and as her fingers tightened around the handle, she decided then to give this moment a chance. Opening the door, she smiled at the man who made her feel away for the past week. The semi-dressy outfit he was wearing earlier had been changed into a relaxed outfit for lounging. He was too fine. A slow breath left her. She stepped inside and closed the door. Quincy, why are you here? He took her hand gently. Because whatever this is, Quincy responded, now just an inch from her body, we might as well figure it out together. And that's the end of part 2. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed part 2. Stay tuned for part 3 coming soon. As you know by now, I upload new episodes of In Her Own Voice every Tuesday at 8 p.m. right here on Spotify. If you'd like to share your story with me, you have a topic you want to discuss, you need advice, prayer, or just a vent, please email me at 320eent@gmail. I would love to hear from you. And if you've been hanging on with me this far and have not clicked the follow button yet, please, please, please do so. Go ahead and bless me with that follow. Like I tell you, it helps more people find the channel and it gets my voice out there. Also, do not forget to like all the episodes. All of them are still up. And they're stuck up there and they're there for you to listen at any time. And lastly, please, please share these episodes with someone who you think may be able to benefit from it. My gratitude always goes out to all of you. Remember, your fears don't define you. Your doubts don't control you. And your dreams are waiting for you. Until next time, keep speaking in your own voice.